Hey there, this is Pastor Greg Berlau with Darby Creek Church, and I wanted to give everybody an update on us returning to services on June 7th. That's this Sunday. I'd hoped to get this out sooner, but it's just been a little crazy here getting the sanctuary ready for our new arrangements with the live stream and us getting used to some new equipment in here, and as well as getting the space ready. So anyway, but here's the video I was telling you I'd sent out, more just going over some of the details about what to expect at the service. And so I know so many of you have responded to the survey, the follow-up survey we sent out, asking about to put your name down and tell us what service that you preferred and so on. So let me just get right to that information here. I'm going to share with you my screen here. So this is just some bullet point lists. I'll go over them one by one here. So first of all, we want people to realize that there is no pressure for them to return to service. You know, some people that we surveyed were not comfortable coming back right away, and that's totally fine. You have to make that decision, and we are not pressuring anybody to return before they're ready, nor do we think any differently about if somebody does or does not come. There are no judgments here, so please realize that. You know, and that just brings up a point. If you're considered in a high-risk category, you should probably consider just staying home and watching the live stream at 10:30. And that is a new time because we're going to two services here, and the 10:30 a.m. service is the one that we're going to live stream. Now, the rest of the stuff I'm going to go over here are just some things that we're asking people to do in coming to the in-person service. And please realize that we're asking people to follow these steps for the sake of others, not just for themselves. And so really trying to ask people to have a very gracious mentality towards one another, and as well as just realize that, you know, sometimes you do this things for the sake of others, whether you would have done that or not. And so just think about that as we go over this list. And so we will be asking everyone to kind of maintain some social distancing practices while we're here, namely staying kind of 6 feet apart unless you happen to be in the same family group. This is what we've been asked to do out in public as well, and in places where we do business and so on. We'd like people to do the same here as well. And so also to try to maintain that distance, social distancing, when we're inside the sanctuary, we've had to split this down into two services, trying to keep these numbers of people in the sanctuary to about 40 or maybe 50 max, but 40-ish is what we're shooting for. And so to do that, we are doing a 9 a.m. and a 10:30 a.m. service. And so on the survey we asked you guys whether you would want to go to a 9 o'clock, a 10:30 a.m. service, or it didn't matter. And so I would say probably 99% of you that said it didn't matter, we're having you go to the 9 a.m. service. And so so anyway, you'll be contacted today, which is June 3rd or June 4th, sometime between today and tomorrow, by email or by phone, to let you know what service we're expecting you to be at based on what you told us. And so, like I said, the overwhelming majority of those that said that it didn't matter to them were steering to the 9 a.m. service. And because we just had a lot of people say they could only come to the 10:30. So anyway, and we would ask that you would follow that. Again, the reason we're doing that is for others' sake. And so at any rate, so keep an eye out for that communication. If for some reason you don't hear from us and you're planning on coming, contact us, and maybe the email went into spam, or you didn't get that voicemail or something like that, or maybe we just missed calling you or something. But contact us here at the church office, and so then we can clear that up. The other thing is that we will be cleaning the building after each service, and so wiping down some surfaces and cleaning the bathrooms and so on. So that's happening. There is not going to be any child care or children's ministry provided when we initially return. And so, we hope to have that back, but we just, when we're first coming back, we don't think we're going to be able to do that. So, parents of children, as you sit together, you can have things for your kids to do there while they're seated with you or whatever. We realize this is going to be different for them. And so we anticipate the total service time will be right around an hour ish. So that's what it has been actually online, what we've been doing for the most part. So anyway, so just be aware of that. And so we're asking parents, to keep their kids with you to kind of help us maintain the social distancing. And we realize that's tough. And we also realize, for that reason, some families may stay home until they feel more comfortable or until maybe some of the social distancing kind of goes away. And so we understand that. Also, we strongly encourage people to wear face covering or mask of some sort that covers your mouth and nose. It's not mandatory, but again, we are really asking people to strongly consider this for the sake of others, because I do know from some of the surveys we got back, we definitely have families who are coming back who really have concerns about a lot of people maybe not wearing masks. So again, think about that principle I mentioned earlier about thinking of others before yourself. So please, by the way, if you had intended to wear a mask and forgot one, we will have some extras here. I know, I've gone to a place of business before and they were asking people to wear masks, and I had forgotten mine. And so if that's your case, you don't need to run back home. We will have an extra disposable mask here if needed. But we would ask you to bring your own if you could. There will be no refreshments served. You can bring your own drinks. As always, we encourage you to bring drinks with lids. And we will have some bottled water available for those that need a drink. So we think it's important that people have water if they do need a drink. So we'll have bottled water for that. And then, this kind of makes sense. If you're sick, even just with a common cold or have a persistent cough or something, we're asking you not to attend just for the same reasons that we're, taking all these precautions to try to prevent the spread of the virus. So anyway, we are looking forward to having our first in-person service here in over a couple months. And starting, again, June 7th, 9 a.m. and at 10:30. You will be contacted, again, today or tomorrow about service time if you're a regular attender. Obviously, you're a visitor. It's not going to matter. You can show up whatever service works for you. We're trying to leave some space for that as well, and we'd love to have you. So, listen, please keep this service in prayer, in this time in prayer. There's a lot of things that have been going on behind the scenes to get things ready, a lot of down to the wire. Even though we've had all this time, it's just a lot of work, frankly. And so just pray that the Lord is glorified through the service, and that each and every one of us would just does happen to come in person service here would just be here to worship the Lord and love others and just that God would be glorified for our time. So thanks for your prayers and your encouragement here over these last weeks and couple months. It's been great. Really felt the love of the people and the saints here at Darby Creek. So God bless you guys, and we'll talk to you soon. And one last thing too, I want to let you know, even though some people may not be returning right away, which is totally fine. Like I said, we're going to try to make sure that we stay connected. For example, we've got a monthly prayer meeting coming up here a week from Thursday, and we're going to provide the Zoom option for that as well as have it in person so that we can stay connected. We can still be a part of that meeting together, both in person and on Zoom. So that's important to us. So, all right, God bless you guys, and we'll talk to you later. Take care. Bye-bye.